Okay, here we are, guys, for our last bad ending, but with a twist, because we never stayed at the cottage with the girls last time, but if we had done that, there is a way to survive and get to the good ending. So, my plan is, let's do it the proper way first, and then we'll rewind time and see what the bad ending is. But first, I'm curious how it would have went if we had stayed with the girls instead. I want to go with Tom, but I know he's capable. And like he said, they'll be right back. I grip his hand in mine briefly, giving it a quick squeeze. You'd better not keep me waiting.
Thanks, Cadence. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and Mr. Wiley will go after the band instead of coming here first. That didn't come out right.
I wouldn't call anything about the situation lucky. I watch Tom and Pop-Tart barrel into the woods. Then I go back into the cottage with Susie, Sabrina, and Garth locking the door behind me. Should we barricade the door too? No, Peter should be back with the baseball bat soon. And I don't want to say this out loud, but constructing a barricade would trap us inside as well as trapping Mr. Wiley outside. Hang on for a little bit longer, Garth. I'll do my best. Minutes passes by and they feel more like hours. How long are those boys planning on taking? Peter! Sabrina, wait! I grab her arm. We all hold our breaths and listen. Then I hear the sound I've been dreading. The sound of a key turning in the lock. It's Mr. Wiley! What do we do? They both look at me, eyes bright with panic. Alright. That is the signal. So, for the good end, we fight. Sabrina, you hide around this corner. Susie, I want you behind this door. Do you still have your pepper spray? Yes, but what? You'll have to aim for his eyes. We're not going down without a fight. When I give the signal, we attack.
We can do this.
I'm ready. We scatter into hiding right as the key turns the lock and the door opens. Mr. Wiley steps inside the cottage. My fist tightens around the cat's claw Olive gave me. Mr. Wiley has threatened the lives of me and my friends. I'm not going to show him mercy. I hold my breath, listening as he approaches. He stops right outside where Garth is being held, right where I thought he would.
I know what you're up to.
I know you're in here. My heart nearly stops. Now! With a determined scream, I charge out of my hiding place and down the hall straight for Mr. Wiley. In the same instant, Susie and Sabrina burst from their hiding places. Sabrina smashes her saber into the back of Mr. Wiley's head as Susie unleashes her can of pepper spray right into his eyes. Looks good. Ah! He stumbles backwards, clutching his face with one hand. The other still holds the gun. He raises it, but just as he does, I dig my claw into his hand. He cries out in pain once more and his grip loosens. I tear the gun away. At the same time, all three of us back up. Mr. Wiley drops to his knees, holding his face in his hands and moaning in agony. My eyes and nose burn from the mist of the pepper spray, but it's nothing compared to what he must be feeling right now. Stay where you are! Mr. Wiley looks up. His face and eyes are an alarming shade of crimson. He struggles to squint at me. His lips draw back in an ugly grimace and he lurches towards me without warning. I said, don't move! I point the gun at him and he freezes in his tracks. My own commanding intensity surprises even me, but I don't let it show. I glare fiercely at Mr. Wiley. He returns it through streaming eyes. Give us the keys. He doesn't move. Give us the keys. He produces them from his belt and holds them out towards me. I don't dare approach him for fear he might disarm me. Smart. I catch Sabrina's eye and give her a nod. She steps forward, pointing her saber at Mr. Wiley like it's a real sword, and snatches the keys from his hand. Then she goes to unlock the door, quivering with anticipation. Susie hangs back, pepper spray held at the ready. I keep my gaze locked on Mr. Wiley. Up against the wall. I motion for him to move backwards, and he complies, still oddly silent.
Garth!
The door swings open, and there stands Garth. He looks terrible. Skinnier than I remember him, with broad dark circles under his eyes.
Everyone.
He smiles wearily at each of us in turn before flinging his arms around Sabrina.
Thank you.
For coming back for me.
I never would have left you behind. She squeezes him tightly. Garth, I can't believe you were here all this time. My eyes fill with tears as I imagine the fear and loneliness he must have felt, while the rest of us continued on in band camp, unaware of what he was facing. I'm so sorry. He approaches and hugs me gently. Careful, I've got a gun in my hand.
There's nothing to be sorry for.
Everything's going to be okay. As soon as we get a hold of the police and get Mr. Wiley on his way to jail.
What's going on?
Oh, Pop-Tart came this time. I was curious if he would come. I wonder why. Tom, Peter, and Pop-Tart appear. Their eyes go wide when they see Mr. Wiley sitting on the floor, hanging his head in defeat, and me with his gun in my hand.
Damn.
You ladies are badass. Meanwhile, we were completely useless. Cadence, are you okay?
He rushes to embrace me. I breathe a sigh of relief as I'm reunited with Tom. Next to us, Peter and Sabrina hug one another tightly. Pop-Tart looks to Susie. Pop-Tart, you are such a sweetie pie. I love you.
Would you like a hug too?
I'm good, thanks. Susie, rude. I would take 1,000,000 Pop-Tart hugs. Did you all dig out the tunnel? Tom releases me, though he keeps one hand resting lightly on the small of my back.
Yeah, but I guess it was a waste of time when we can use Mr. Wiley's keys to let us out.
Again, we really didn't think this through.
Whatever.
You can say that again.
We need to get out of here. I'm worried about Doug and Clark. Wait, there's something you all need to know.
Oh, you're gonna tell them in front of Mr. Wiley?
They need to know the truth.
Perhaps you would like to tell them, Mr. Wiley, the truth.
Suddenly, Mr. Wiley's head snaps up, his eyes like fire. He springs to his feet with a vigor I wasn't expecting. He roars at us, and I flinch away.
No! No! You can't tell them! I won't let you!
He reaches for me. The gun weighs heavy in my hand. Tom's like, I won't hesitate to cut you again. Before he can tear it away, Tom is there to be my shield. He presses the flat end of the blade on the end of his trombone against Mr. Wiley's throat. His eyes spark sapphire.
Don't think I won't.
A strangled, inhuman sound rips from Mr. Wiley's throat, but he's helpless against Tom.
I've seen way too many movies where they let the bad guy go and he always comes back and kills someone. So don't think I won't do it.
Good on you, Tom. I respect you for that. I place a hand on his arm. As hell-bent as he is on protecting me, I won't let him kill anyone for my sake. Tom has a point. Tom has a freaking point, girl. Everyone, we need to go. Peter stands at the ready with his baseball bat.
What about Mr. Wiley?
We can't leave him like this. He might follow us, like Tom said. I sweep my gaze around the tiny cottage, looking at my peers, armed with an array of weaponry. They seem to agree. Mr. Wiley is too dangerous and unpredictable to leave unchecked. And you don't agree, Cadence? Then we lock him in the basement. It's what he deserves after what he did to Garth.
You heard her. Move it.
Mr. Wiley obeys, dragging his feet towards the basement with Tom's blade pointed at his face. The door shuts behind our band director with a sort of finality. We make sure to lock it behind him. And he'll get out of there somehow.
Cadence, ready to go?
Yes. Let's get the heck out of here.
After you, then.
One by one, my friends file out of the cottage. Sabrina gives the weak Garth a shoulder to lean on as he staggers his way to freedom. Tom and I are the last to go. Tom raps on the basement door with his Trom bayonet.
Don't you dare think about breaking out and following us. Band camp is officially over.
That's not the only thing.
What does that mean?
Let's go, Cadence.
I can't believe Wiley was snippy enough to actually retort. Together, we leave behind the cottage and head out into the forest. We move quickly. I do a quick head count to make sure all 7 of us are here. We step outside of Camp Bearpaw for the second time, closing the gate behind us.
Now Mr. Wiley won't be able to leave. Unless he uses that tunnel of ours.
Everyone.
Wait. Before we go any further, you must know the truth. Why Mr. Wiley locked me away in there?
Okay. So I just want to make sure everything else seems to be staying the same. Okay. Alright, well that was neat. It was cool to see how that would have played out. I liked that one too. Fighting with the girls, saving Garth, saving the day. You'll have to see it. But now we're going to hide, and we'll see what the bad ending entails. Are we on the floor with Susie and Sabrina this time? Well, the boys are still digging fast, so they should get here before the gunshot rings out. Quickly! In here!
Wait! Please don't leave me!
Sorry, Garth. I promise we won't go far. The office, eh? I wave Susie and Sabrina ahead of me into Mr. Wiley's office. As quickly as they can, they squeeze into separate hiding spots. I make sure to turn off the lights before joining them, wedging myself in the dark space underneath his desk. I don't dare breathe and pray my friends can keep quiet. We listen to Mr. Wiley's heavy footsteps as he walks slowly down the hall. He halts just before his office, next to the basement he's keeping Garth in.
I know what you're up to.
I know you're in here.
My heart nearly stops. Then comes the sound of a key turning in a lock once more.
Garth, you're still in here? Then they failed to rescue you. Clark's efforts were all for naught. And so were mine.
He's doing good. Mr. Wiley's laugh chills me to my core. I want to go to Garth, but I'm too terrified to move. I look to my friends and see my fear reflected in their faces.
It's all over. They're all gone. Gone! Gone forever! Ah!
Suddenly, there's the sound of a scuffle.
Oh no, you're not leaving here.
No. I guess he... See, this is what I thought he would do when he found out that everyone in band had left originally, was he would just, like, shoot Garth. He did this time. I hear Mr. Wiley's footsteps fading. I don't know where he goes. The next thing I know is that I'm stumbling through the halls on shaky legs, Sabrina and Susie behind me. Garth! Sabrina's shriek pierces the air. There's so much blood. More blood than I've ever seen in my life. Garth's once warm eyes, sparkling with life, are glassy in death. No! This isn't how it was supposed to go! We were going to save Garth. We were going to leave with everyone. We were going home. I drop to my knees. I hear screaming. It takes me a few seconds to realize it's my own screams I'm hearing, mixing with Susie and Sabrina's sobs. Garth, I'm so sorry. We failed you. Interesting. I thought that that ending was going to end with, like, another gunshot or 3, just to indicate, like, if you scream, Wiley's probably going to come back down and, like, shoot the rest of you guys. But, you know what? You can just leave that to your imagination. Was Wiley still in the cottage? Did the girls leave after failing to rescue Garth? Who knows? Poor Garth. He got the bad end of the stick a couple times there. Eey. Whew, guys. With that, we have survived Another route of Bandcamp Boyfriend. Oh man, there was some really sad endings in that mix. Got me good, got me real good. So well done. Well done on all those. Definitely some tear jerkers for me. Alright, well, I am gonna go take a break. I'm going back to Gilded Shadows for a bit, so hopefully I will see you guys over there. We're going to start Reuben Kellner's route, finally. The detective that Morgan will not shut up about, so yeah. That should be good. Should be interesting. Otherwise, I'll see you when I come back to Bandcamp Boyfriend for a little side story action. That should be fun. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time, I will see you later.